All right, hello everyone. It's Ryu back again. I just want to say first and foremost, thank you to everyone that checked out my last video. It actually did way better than I thought it would. I hope that it was entertaining for everyone and you learned a thing or two. I wanted to kind of make a follow-up video to that to kind of show my build. I had a couple friends of mine kind of ask me what my build is and how I play it. Um, I just want to say this is how I play Greatsword Dagger, and this build video is going to be specifically for PvP. I will make a video on PvP and how to play either in arena or in large scale PvP, because those are completely different, in my opinion, with this class. So this is going to focus on the PvE aspect, whether it's dungeons or the secret dungeon or whatever it may be. So yeah, let's get right into it. So first and foremost, let's talk about all my skills, right? In PvE, I feel like I find myself staying alive forever. So I don't use the rogue or dagger block, I should say. I use the greatsword one. It does a lot of damage. In return, nothing really special here. It's a good block. It lasts a long time. It does a nice little spin move after. But the main thing is that when you block, it basically negates like all your damage. That's really nice, right? It lasts a long time. You don't have to perfectly time it like this compared to the greatsword one. Skill number 1, Valiant Brawl. This is the skill that you're really going to be using the most. Same with Cleaving Moonlight. This is really what determines your DPS, right? Because you have your heavy hitting skills like Guillotine Blade, Death Blow, right? Pretty standard abilities. Gaia Crash, some people use that. I don't use that skill right now until tier 2. But Valiant Brawl, really strong skill, has a really short cooldown. Specifically to great swords. Now I don't know how this works with other classes, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But with the great sword, you really only get a big bonus every like 3 levels, so that's why I have it at level 3, right? It's just a good skill. I think I'll do the skill specialization at the end. Second skill I use is Stunning Blow. Every greatsword user should have this skill. It obviously stuns the opponent. I mean, if you look at the stun duration, now I only have at level 1. I probably should get it higher up so I can have the stun duration much longer, but I've just been lazy. Everything is laziness, guys. Um, this is a huge part of the whole build, really, the Stunning Blow. Partially because of this weapon that you get, and again, I'll get into this later. I'm just going to go over skills right now, but Stunning Blow, really important skill. Cleaving Moonlight, the other skill that you are going to be mashing. You just be mashing this skill. If you look at the cooldown, 5 seconds, it's up all the time. All right, you're going to be mashing this skill. Again, this is just for DPS. You're just going to be pressing it all the time when your other big skills are on cooldown. Ascending Slash. You want to use this when the enemy is stunned, right? It puts them into a prone sort of CC, right? Where you go down on the ground. Now, some abilities do more damage if they're proned and stuff like that. Like, for example, Death Blow. There's like a skill specialization that does more damage when they're prone, right? 30%. So if you do 1,000, 30% of 1,000 is 300 damage. That's quite a lot, right? So really good skill, Ascending Slash. For my movement skill, I only have 1 movement skill. Or actually, no, I take that back. I have 2 movement skills for PvE. But this, for 1, it's a good movement skill. But 2, if you read the ability, hitting a target increases the heavy attack chance 140 for 3 seconds. Really important to use it the way that you kind of want to be optimal about it is that you want to stun them, right? You dash into them, or you dash into them. You get 3 seconds of heavy attack, so you can dash in, stun, and Guillotine Blade or Death Blow, right? Till you get that heavy attack, and then you press it again, so you get another 3 seconds of the heavy attack chance. Right, really good skill, really nice, right? Will Breaker, lowers the defense of the target. Really important skill. Again, all of these are just lowering the defense of the target, right? This gives minus 600 defense. I mean, that is absolutely insane. 600 defense is so much. Really important skill. I only have it at level 1. But yeah, really, really good skill. The other ability I have is the heal ability, Divinci's Courage. This is actually super strong, right? It gives you health regain and max HP. It's for sustain, right? Pretty standard, nothing crazy about this skill. It's just sustain. You can also heal your party members with it. I have it on all the time on both my builds, because just sustain is really strong in this game, in my opinion. This is my other movement skill. It's the Devastating Smash. This is the one that lunges at the target and it stuns them. You know, as long as you hope and pray. With a little bit of hope and prayer, that 62% chance will stun them. You can obviously level it up to get a higher stun chance. And you can use the Specialization to get a higher stun chance as well. But again, this is PvE, so I kind of just have it as a filler skill, to be honest. I've thought about replacing it with something else, but I do like having 2 stuns in my kit, because again, I'm using it with Ascending Slash. I want them to be prone, right? Guillotine Blade, I've mentioned it so many times. Finally, the skill. This is the hardest hitting skill of any greatsword user. Everyone knows this skill. Max it out when you can. You know, I'm almost there. I'm broke, guys. What do I say? All right. Death Blow, again, hardest hitting normal skill of Greatsword, right? Death Blow, really important. And then I go into the other 2 dagger skills, right? I only have 3 dagger skills. The first one being the Inject Venom, the poison buff or poison debuff for the opponent, right? This has a ton of synergies with its passive, which is the main reason why I have this. You almost always want to have the poison on the target for many reasons. 1, it obviously does tick damage, right? 2, when the enemy is poisoned, right? If you look at the passive Destructive Fang, and again, I should level it up more, but Destructive Fang lowers the resistances more. Like defense reduction, 112 defense reduction if they're poisoned, right? And then I use Umbral Spirit because Umbral Spirit, if they are poisoned, then they take 2 times the damage. Not like times 2, but like they take an additional attack. So, for an example, Valiant Brawl hits 3 times, right? Attacks 3 times in a row. If you have Poison on an Umbral Spirit, it essentially hits 6 times. The Umbral Spirit will hit 6 times, right? So it's 37% of base damage plus 14 times 3, right? So really good synergy with multi-hitting skills. That's why a lot of the dagger skills are like that, multi-hitting. But my passives are kind of generic. I don't even know if they're the best, but this is what I use, right? Health regain and max HP. I think that's pretty standard for everyone. I think that's like OP, just health, right? More health, more better. It's just better, right? Vital Force is very good because it also has synergy with max health, where it increases the hit chance and stun chance of abilities and attacks. Scaling on your max HP, right? Every 100 HP it scales, so really, really strong. This I use for mana regain mostly, so you don't go out of mana. Second skill is Cold Warrior. This one is very, very good, right? Very important because it just gives you heavy attack chance when the enemy is in a shocked or stunned status, right? Whereas Stunning Blow adds stun for 3 seconds, or if they're already stunned or can't be stunned, for example, if like they're like collisioned or whatever, you can shock them for 7 seconds, right? So this gives a ton of heavy attack chance, and of course critical hit chance, but again, the heavy attack is more important. I recently switched to Indomitable Armor, the kind of tank passive, because again, I've been doing a lot of dungeons, and lately everyone just dies, and I have to end up solo it or duo it with like the healer. And being extra tanky is really, really nice for me, right? 300 defense across the board, that stacks 3 times. So if you get hit a few times, you know, let's say you get hit like 8 times or whatever, most likely you will have the max stack, right? You'll have 900 defense, right? Really strong. Murderous Energy is a wonderful passive, right? It works really, really great with the poison, right? You do more damage with poison at night, and in the day you do get, you know, some damage as well, but at night is really where it does a lot of the damage, and it leaves the poison on for longer, right? So 11% or whatever, right? Destructive Fang, again, kind of covered it. When the target is poisoned, he has an 80% chance to reduce the target's magic, but that 80% is basically 100, because by the time you do Inject Venom, Cleaving Moonlight, Umbral Spirit, Valiant Brawl, you would have hit them already like 14 times, and they are for sure already lowered the defense, right? And then the last one, pretty straightforward, crit damage. Who doesn't love crit damage? 18%. I wish it could go up way higher. This was the first purple skill that I maxed out because, again, crit damage is really, really valuable. I feel like I hardly see it. Oh gosh, my guild is going crazy over here. They're going to an event. I'm over here making a video. But those are kind of the skills, right? A very basic overview of the skills that I use. Now, the specializations are tough. You know, I'm not the best player. You know, this isn't the end all be all of Great Sword Dagger. You know, I'm just kind of giving you my opinion and how I play it, what I use. I think the specializations I change the most around depending on kind of what I'm doing. But lately I've kind of just kept it at what it is, right? So Valiant Brawl, I really like this. After skill use, you get 5% damage increase. It's only 2 seconds, so I've really thought about not using this. But every time I take it off, I'm like, you know what? 5% is enough, right? So that's that. Precision Dash, the duration of the heavy attack boost, right? This is very important. Because if you read the skill, it only lasts for 3 seconds. So if you get the duration, it lasts for 4.5 seconds. That's quite a significant difference. That's basically 50% of the time you get added. So really strong, really, really good, right? Stunning Blow, one of your best abilities. I've tried the cooldown, and it is good, you know, stunning more. But in my opinion, these 3 are better, right? You get the skill damage boost 150% for the next 5 seconds. So you can stun and then Guillotine Blade. That's kind of how the whole synergy works. Everybody does this, right? Pretty straightforward. Critical, or not critical, I'm sorry. Skill hit chance. You don't want to miss, right? You don't want to miss your stun. A lot of players will run a lot of evasion and stuff. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's for PvP. But yeah, you'll miss. Don't miss. Skill hit chance. And then stun duration. It's already annoying being stunned for 3 seconds, let alone 4 seconds. That is so long. 4 seconds. That is absolutely insane. Death Blow. You know, your main DPS skill aside from, or I guess not main DPS, but your big heavy skill aside from Guillotine Blade. You want to do the charge. Again, this is PvE. You're trying to blow things up. You're trying to hit the boss for a lot of damage. Pretty straightforward here. Cooldown reduction. You want to press it as much as you can. And the charge up rate, right? You want to charge it up, do a lot of damage. And damage against prone, 30%, like I kind of mentioned earlier. 30% is a lot of damage, right? If the skill does 3,000, you know, 30% of 3,000, that's 900 damage. That's a lot of damage, okay, that you get just for 3 skill points. Super good. The healing ability, sustain. I do duration and the bonus heal, right? I really like having sustain. I don't have to worry about popping potions, running out of health, dying. You know, if you stay alive, you do more damage because you're not dead. Okay, you just heal more. It's really nice. You can always change this out. There's been times where I take this off because I feel like I don't need it. Let's say we have a really strong healer. I really don't need this. I just take it off uh, and put it on, you know, Precision Dash or Valiant Brawl, right? To like Cruel Smash or whatever. But yeah, good sustain, right? Ascending Slash, I just do the skill damage boost, right? 5 seconds of increased damage. It's a long time, right? 5 seconds is a long time, especially when you're going to charge up your skills. They take a long time to charge up. It takes like 3 seconds, 2 seconds, depending on attack speed. So that's what I use, right? Right when you get them stunned, right? The best way to use, I think, Ascending Slash is not with Stunning Blow. Because if you Stunning Blow and then Ascending Slash, you're kind of wasting the buff that it gives you, right? Because Stunning Blow already, you do more damage on the next skill, right? So you want a Stunning Blow, Guillotine Blade, for example, Devastating Slash or Devastating Smash, then Ascending Slash to put the target prone after stunning them with Devastating Slash. So 5 seconds of extra damage is really, really important. It's a lot more important than you might think. Because in 5 seconds you can press Cleaving Moonlight, Valiant Brawl, and then like pop your poison again, all in 5 seconds, and you're getting a bonus 250 damage from that. Okay. Devastating Smash, I do add stun chance hit. Again, if I don't feel like I need sustain, I put those points in here instead, right? Because you want to be able to stun. That way you can Ascending Slash and put them on the ground and prone them. I think the duration is whatever. You don't really need the duration, but mostly the stun chance. You really want to make sure that the stun hits when you jump on them. If you are going to not use this, for example, you're going to swap out the sustain, I would recommend putting it into the stun chance in this, right? And then for the last skill, the best skill, at least for greatswords, is the Guillotine Blade, right? Just put everything in. You don't need the AoE damage. I have it on because I was doing some Silas Abyss earlier. The AoE is fine. It does what it is. It just hits in an AoE circle. You have to have charge damage. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just add it on, right? This is what makes the skill hit hard. You know, you get like 100% just for charging it, right? It's a lot of damage. And then cooldown reduction. You want to press the button as much as you can. The more you press the button, the better. Okay. Cleaving Moonlight. I used to use attack speed, but I don't need it anymore because I think my character has enough attack speed. This is almost mandatory if you're using Cleaving Moonlight. If you see any rogue, I keep calling the dagger skill rogue. If you see any daggers out there, you hear the right? Everybody attacks twice, and there's a reason for it. You know, attacking twice in ability is literally 100% increased damage. So really, really important. My build specifically does poison. I do not do the Thundercloud build. That's a different type of build. So you obviously do not go Thundercloud. You go poison. Right? Additional damage to the target when they're poisoned. Pretty straightforward there. Inject Venom. The really important ones, again, if you're going to do poison, you want to do the duration and cooldown. You want to be able to have your poison up basically 100% of the time. You know, have your poison up all the time, or at least have the target inflicted with poison, right? If the target is constantly inflicted with poison, because it does stack 2% per stack, and it stacks up to 20 times. If you run out, let's say you like, oh, you missed a skill or something, I don't know, dude. Most likely the cooldown will be back up by the time the stacks run out, okay? Really important that you have the effect, duration, and cooldown so you can keep the target poisoned, right? It's really important for the build that I've created here to keep the target poisoned. And then Umbral Spirit, damage against targets that are poisoned, right? 30% damage against the target that is poisoned. It's really important to have this as well. You can do duration increased on this as well. I've tried it. I haven't really noticed too much of a big difference. I think I'd rather have the points somewhere else, in my opinion. Again, this is how I play the build. You're feel free to kind of change things how you think, and kind of your playstyle, what you think is best for you. But this is how I do it, right? So I don't think it's worth it, in my opinion. Usually I like duration on other things. I think on Umbral Spirit, you don't really need it. So that's kind of the rundown of the skills that I use. A very basic rundown. It's going to be a long video, guys, because I haven't even showed kind of how to play the class at all, really. I don't know how detailed I'll go into that, but in the mastery, I went glass cannon. All right, we're trying to get this right here. Melee heavy attack chance plus 100. Everything else is nice, sure, right? You get attack speed from this. You get skill damage boost. That's really nice. Hit chance, right? Some crit. That's great. But what's important is the heavy attack chance. That's really what you want. You know, if you can hit that ×2, trust me, it's way more damage than you might think. And I'm sure you already know. You already know that heavy attack is important. I probably don't have to tell you, right? So heavy attack. Same with Dagger. This is why I don't go with the attack speed on the Cleaving Moonlight, because the passives give you attack speed. Once you hit Mastery 10 on Dagger, you can get this attack speed bonus, and it's actually really, really good. Plus the crit damage. Obviously, crit damage is really important. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that these only affect the weapon that you're holding. So I don't even think this applies when I'm holding my greatsword. I think that's how that works. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure that the mastery only works with the weapon that you're holding. I'm not too sure, though. I really don't know how that works, to be honest. So you'll have to let me know. And then I'm going to go top path with both for defense. Yeah, pretty straightforward there. So that's kind of my skills that I use on a daily basis. I guess the best way I can show it to you is with a boss. I will be doing this. That's going to be in the next video, but let me go hit a training dummy. Let me go find a training dummy. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm here in the, what is this called? Castleton. For the sake of the video, we're going to call it the Town of Beginnings. All right, so in the Town of Beginnings, we're just going to hit these things. I'm going to kind of show you my skill rotation and how you really want to start to hit the boss, right? It's hard to stay perfectly optimal because, you know, certain skills have certain cooldowns. At some point, you're just going to start mashing your face on the keyboard, and it's going to do great damage. But to start it off, you want to pop your Poison, Umbral Spirit, Precision Dash into the target, Will Breaker, Stun, and then Guillotine Blade, then Devastating Smash, Prone them, Death Blow, Valiant Brawl, Dash, Dash, and kind of rinse and repeat, right? Poison again, Poison, Dash, Dash, Cleaving Moonlight. You can heal for attack speed, Death Blow, Valiant Brawl, boom, boom, Will Breaker, Stun, and then Guillotine Blade, right? That was what, like almost 200k damage on this dummy. I don't know what kind of resistances they have, but that's a lot of damage, right? That's kind of like the very basic rotation. You know, what really brings out your damage is the target being poisoned, the Will Breaker lowering the resistances. When they're poisoned, they lose resistances, right? I didn't even talk about the weapon that I'm using, so I apologize. I actually should go over my gear too. But the gear doesn't matter too much because you can use kind of whatever gear up until you get the best in slot items. I would recommend to look up on Maxroll or Cannon's video on what to build, because gear is really, like, I guess depending on what you want to do. What's important for Greatsword though is this plate of the Field General, or not plate, right? Field General armor, because the 2-piece gives you 150 heavy attack chance, right? So if you get lucky with a drop, or you have enough of these tokens, like these, I have 45 of them, I think you can craft it. I got lucky and got it in a drop. And then the other one, I forgot how I got it. I think I bought it with Lucent. But yeah, the big damage is from the heavy attack, right? So if you look at the Duke Magna, for example, it gives you 95 heavy attack when the enemy is stunned or shocked. The gear that I have gives you 150, right? So it ends up being 430. Plus this is 140. So you could see that every little bit adds up. Every little bit, from the passives to the gear to the weapon, everything adds up. So it's really important to not only focus on the big thing of your weapon, but to focus on the little things, right? Your armor, your skills, your passives, and then use them all together in conjunction, right? Using Will Breaker minus 600 defense. The target's poisoned minus 112 defense, right? That's like 712 damage reduction just from using 2 abilities, you know? So again, Poison, Umbral Spirit, Dash, Dash, Will Breaker, Stun, Guillotine Blade. You can use Cleaving Moonlight, Stun, Prone, then Death Blow. And again, look, Poison's already up. Valiant Brawl, Dash, right? Dash again, Heal, Poison, right? And then everything's on cooldown, right? You just keep using your small abilities. Stun. You almost always want to use Guillotine Blade after Stun. You know, I try not to use the Guillotine Blade unless I have my Stunning Blow. Specifically because of the Duke Magna Greatsword, because it gives you that extra bonus. And it's not just when the opponent is stunned or shocked. You have to use Stunning Blow, as the item says. I saw some other day in chat, someone was like, oh yeah, as long as they're stunned or shocked, it'll apply. No, that's not how that works. You have to use Stunning Blow to apply that effect, then you will get the buff. Okay, I somehow could be wrong. I don't think so, but that's how that works. So just remember, right? Stunning Blow, then Guillotine Blade, assuming you have Duke Magna. Otherwise, just go ham, alright? Just make sure that you can have Will Breaker and the target is poisoned before you use Guillotine Blade, okay? There's a lot of other small things that you could do to, I guess, increase your damage, like using remedies. 20% damage dealt is a lot of damage. You know, I don't use them as much as I should. You know, I had a comment on my last video where the guy was saying, you know, I'm kind of like holding myself back not using these. And he's absolutely right, you know. I should use them more, because what's the point of saving them and never using them? It's no good to save them. Right, so use these, whether it's a really hard boss that you need that extra DPS, or against a PvP player, right? I think they work against PvP, not too sure. But yeah, that's kind of how I play. I know it was kind of a brief rundown, not too crazy, but that's kind of how I play the class. That's my skills that I use. I think it's really important to kind of that guy went fine. Kind of important to figure out how you want to play the class. You know, I have found so much enjoyment from blowing single target opponents up, you know, and boss damage. I think Greatsword and Dagger has one of the highest single target damage in the entire game, for sure. I mean, the single target damage absolutely nuts on this class. It's not good with AoE at the moment. Maybe tier 2 will be a lot better, but I think it's really important, right? I think it's really important to enjoy the class that you're playing, right? I don't want to go off on a tangent, but yeah, that's kind of how I play it. I hope that was informative, at least a little bit. I hope that you can take away something from this video. If you have any questions on my PvE build, let me know. I'm still trying to figure out PvP, the PvP build aspect. I'm not a PvPer. I do like PvPing in this game, but I mean, even if I look at the kill ranking, like I've only gone down since this game came out. You know, I only have 186 kills, 306 assists. I really don't PvP as much as I should. I also don't have that much time to play, so when I play, I usually try and do the things that I want to do. Run dungeons, go to the open world dungeons, do guild events, right? My rankings have only gone down since playing the game. You know, at one point I was much higher, but now we're just all low, right? Even our guild ranking, right? I'm part of the Divine Army, with like Apex, Boba Tea, and Wales, and we've been kind of stuck at 8th, you know, the 8th guild. You know, Little Fatty is in our server, so the YouTuber Little Fatty, I'm sure a lot of you may know him. I've actually killed him twice. That motherfucker was so tanky. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I did kill him a couple times, and he's a wonderful player. You know, I don't know how he is personally, like who he is as a person. I really don't know, but as a player, you know, he's a really strong player. He really knows what he's doing. But yeah, I hope that you can take away something from this video. Keep trying, keep working hard with Greatsword Dagger. I know it's really hard for us as a class. I don't know, in my opinion, it's probably the least played class at the moment. So don't give up. It gets a little better in Tier 2. It's kind of bad in open scale PvP. But it's really fun. Okay. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I know this was a long one, so thanks so much for sticking through it. If you watched the whole way through, God bless you. I hope that you have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it may be. All right, so you guys take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.